No, first one.
Yeah, you're quite a well-known chap.
No, never done one. I spoke to Reese before I came down, who has 40-ounce burgers.
Yeah.
He's like, give us a little nod on the podcast, man. But I was just like, this is the first one. I was just like, I've never always wanted to do a bit more than this. I've got an event at the Exchange as part of the Small Business Enterprise next month at North Shields.
Yeah.
We do a lot of like college and university talks to give back to the students, but nothing kind of podcast. I've seen the previous ones with Laura, Geordie Scran, and obviously Richie Chips, Coleman's.
Can't escape that name now, mate.
Chips, it's the doctors,
or Coleman's, should I say? But it's a nice pleasure to be here and kind of be part of it. And obviously, local heroes is kind of my ethos as well. So
it is, because you've had a few on because it's football related, isn't it? Yeah, because of Newcastle United.
No, it's what local heroes are.
Yeah, just kind of using that word, local hero, is a defender thing, and they kind of
Knopfler, isn't it?
It is Knopfler, isn't it?
Knopfler,
That's where it's originally born out of.
Thing,
because it started off with Knopfler.
You know how it's handed down the line, the chain of musicians.
It's definitely become like an iconic localised term, hasn't it?
Right.
But,
I think.
It's themed from local heroes, isn't it?
I've just done a range of beers called local. Well, it's themed off the local heroes and got everyone in different cans and stuff. So, but I'm just kind of head down, cracking on, drawing every day, and obviously got another brand on the way as well. So, it's all good. It's all.
Where did it start though, mate? Because I've sort of been like trolling and tracking you.
Stalking you.
So I've had a really good career. I went down London for a bit and did a bit of work down there, and then started working for a Lego licensee. And I was there for about 5 years, travelled the world, absolutely amazing. Phenomenal. Met some amazing people. And I got as far as, basically everywhere I was travelling to. We did big stint of weeks out in Southeast Asia, around Hong Kong, Shanghai, got as far as Japan.
Oh, wow.
And I was collecting bits of art everywhere I was going. And then I got to Japan and there was just like far too much artwork. Really cool Street Fighter themed. There were loads of big murals on the side of the buildings and stuff. And that was the one bit I couldn't. Going back to China, in Hong Kong, there's an artist at the top of the Rockway. He looks over the city and he sells out like immediately. And I was like, I managed to get one of his pieces, big canvas painting, really lush. And fast forward, I got to Japan and I couldn't find anything that I liked. So when I got back, I drew Japan as like my first piece. It was like Mount Fuji with a pair of sunglasses on and like loads of tuna fish and just stuff that resonated with me. And then I was living in Newcastle at the time and I had a few pals come into my flat saying, that's class, that. And I was like, well, I did it. And they were like, oh, you should do more. So I was like, started tapping at the local areas, Tynemouth, South Shields, North Shields. And started doing Tynemouth Market, setting up like a pitch stall, and the rest's history, man.
Really? Is that
well,
it?
You're always just like, see, I'm always intrigued, right? We've had, I think, you're probably one of 4 artists we've had on. Well, we've got Keith, who's a sculptor, but we've had Prefab, Peter.
Prefab, great artist.
We had, obviously, Hannah, who's an illustrator. Like, they've all got completely different stories. Like Peter was in the army and he was a cartographer or something, wasn't he?
But he's had a very similar sort of advertising path as well, working for agencies and things like that. So it's like higher end stuff.
After my Lego one,
your own thing,
it was like not a headhunt, but it was kind of like Lego weren't getting. It was cool. Don't get us wrong. I've got some amazing stories on the Lego front. Met some, like I say, amazing people. Like the founder of Angry Birds was sat next to us at one of the summits, but Angry Birds wasn't a thing back then.
Yeah.
Madness. And I jumped ship and went and worked for an agency that dealt with like Nickelodeon and Pixar, DreamWorks, stuff that just to bolster my CV, really. So like Lego weren't getting certain things like classic Disney, whereas I wanted to really like tap into that Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, like really cool stuff. And SpongeBob SquarePants, Lego wasn't getting that. So I jumped ship and went and worked for an agency that was dealing with all that. And then kind of just always looking for that next step. I remember being in Thailand at the time, just having a little kind of sabbatical break. Just kind of fell out of love with design. It wasn't all cracked up to what it was in the agency world.
You're doing everybody else's stuff?
I think it was just like, there was no time on anything. It was just like on to the next. And it was just like, we did stuff for Top Gear at one point, but then you were jumping on like packaging for Alice in Wonderland or Trolls movie and class. Yeah. It's like mint because I've got like a 2-year-old now. So when he grows to an age, I can just say like, look, that's my dad. I've done all that. Yeah. So it's class in that sect. And then I was like, I was just kind of Will, who was the founder of Oddballs. It's one of my really good pals. So I got a message saying, well, we put a Facebook status on saying like my design skills have come to an end and we're looking for a designer. And a few people had kind of recommended me, saying I was one of the better ones in the Northeast, blah, blah, blah. And he reached out and he was like, do you fancy a job? I was like, well, I'm in Thailand at the minute, but yeah, I can probably look to come back and have a chat with you. And then 5 years of building that to where it is now. And I remember the boss at the time, there's 3 founding bosses, said, what you still doing here? And he was like, I think you're doing something really good on the sidelines behind. And then he just said, if you've got enough to live for a year, then and fuck it, basically, and go and do it. And I thought, in the back of my head, I just getting like a puppy. So we got a little cockapoo. I remember putting her out for a wait at 5 o'clock in the morning, and Amy looked at us and was like, "You still going to hand your notice in?" And I was like, "Yeah," and I've never looked back. Yeah. And that was, we're coming into 9 years now with Lines Behind. So it's been a bit of a whirlwind, but like, honestly, like there's just moments where I'm just like, how is this even happening with what I'm doing? Like some of the brands we get to work with, and yeah, I mean, it is with some questions.
Where did it start though? That's what I was going to say. So like Hannah, we had an illustrator on here, right? And she just wasn't, in her head, she wasn't an artist. She was just a on the bus scribbler, and she sort of fell into illustration because she used to diarise at times. So she'd be sitting, she was a nurse, wasn't she?
Yeah. Cool.
Right. And then obviously Pete had a different, what were you doing leading up to like going into that career? Were you always
obviously I was always very creative and working with the agencies, doing a bit of freelance on the side. We've done loads of stuff over the years with like touching like GQ and Vogue and stuff, but we don't really shout about it. We helped a really successful watch brand off the floor, which is like a guy from Corbridge, lived in London. He was a banker. My mate rented all the watches for him. I was doing all the 2D graphics brochures and stuff. He's mega now. And it's like, I just started doing that, and I was just like always thinking like, God, who could I work with? What could I do? And then I was like, because I was linking back to the Lego stuff, I was like, well, now I look back and I look at my roster of clients and I'm doing it for myself. So I think ultimately it's passion drives us, obviously determination, hunger. It's like, but it's the one door might close and 20 open, or I'm always kind of have that do-gooder feel of like, I mean, like going back to Tynemouth Market, I've stood there when I've made 12 quid, and then I've stood there when I've made X amount, you know what I mean? I've just been like, I remember packing up at 2 o'clock at Tynemouth, and there was a queue of people wanting my stuff, and I was going to see Ed Sheeran. I don't know if it was at the Stadium of Light or St James's, but I was going to see Ed Sheeran that night. So I pack up early, and people were like, no, it's fine, just keep packing up your car, but I'll just wait till you come back. And it was just like, what is that? And so I kind of had, in essence, there was like a demand of what I was doing.
And then, unique, isn't it, James?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a unique
and I was
style,
like, I'm always kind of like, I'm a massive advocate of art, but art has no sense of meaning. So it's like, you can be an artist. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You can draw something, and I've just kind of built something where it's like known for that jigsaw.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you though. Like, so like 9-year-old James, like were you always going to end up doing that?
Because like me aunties and always like you'll say like you're always destined for greatness, or like like I'll see people that I haven't seen for ages, and I'm like, God, you're always tinkering with stuff as a kid, or you're always drawing, or like I'll be getting looked after, and I'm always taking my colouring pens to the restaurant. I mean, and I'll still talk about it now, but then like I'll have people going, are you still colouring in for a job? And it's like,
colouring in.
It's mind blowing. It's like
colouring in pencils out.
It's and then
main button presser.
Like I say, we've had some absolutely mind blowing opportunities and gigs, and people that have kind of backed us from day dot. And I look back and I'm thankful for that. Do you know what I mean? Like there's some amazing opportunities where like I'm just like I've had to jig things around, or like, but we're working all over the world, man. It's mint.
Yeah.
It's like but there's so many strings to my business now. Like. To touch base, like my product and merch side of things, we've tapped into the local dialect and kind of Newcastle as a culture, and like there's a community there for that. So I remember going into Fenwick. I remember saying to Fenwick, you should do you want to take some of my cards on, basically. And I had a £200 Canon printer, and I borrowed the 200 quid off my nana when I first started. And I've paid her back now, like, but it's one of them ones where like I remember getting an order from Fenwick, and it was, I can't remember what the order was, but we were putting all these cards. I used to drive down the range and buy them in neater blank cards, put them all through the printer, and then blow the ink dry on them, and then lay them all out on the floor like a room like this, and then pack them. So there might have been beard hairs in there, but the one thing that really sparked was like the celebrity side of things was like, I remember Piers Morgan getting one of our cards, and it was like the Chronicle were reaching out. I was thinking, God, there's something in this. Like he probably got like thousands of cards getting delivered for his birthday, but I knew that he was all against the vegan sausage roll. And he got one of my cards and posted it, and then loads of people were commenting saying, "Where can I get this? Where can I get this?"
In the press.
So, I mean, there's loads of different angles like that where it kind of helps you or bolsters your business, but we don't take it for granted. It's like, yes, we've worked with all these people, but it's like we always want to work with all the independents as well. So, but back to the Fenwick loop, I remember like them taking my cards and they were like, "Oh God, there's a demand for this," and I used to go down and buy the cards because it said lines behind on the receipt. And it's like, I think it was like, Fenwick lines behind. I was like, and then to where we are now and what we've built in the department store is phenomenal. And I can't thank them enough, but it's mega. Even like lines behind, like I remember, I was like, I'm going to start this as like a little hobby, see what it goes through, little side hustle. And I was like going through all the usernames on Instagram, and I was like, can I get behind the lines? Like, I want to just be called behind the lines, like, because that's where all my energy is, behind these lines that I'm drawing. And then it was like, oh, lines behind. Then it was like a green tick next to it, and I was like, I'll do for now. That'll do for now.
That'll do.
And then I've never looked back. So it's like,
it happens though, doesn't it? You've got to kind of work around that sort of thing. If it's taken, you're like, oh, I wanted that name. How do I do that?
And then it's like, right out, like lines behind has no meaning, but yes, it does now for me. But it's like I want to abbreviate it to like lines. And then I was like, I was going to be mates. I was like, can I be known as the biggest drug dealer in the Northeast? So it's like it's tough. But then people go, well, you're known for that, or so I try and call it like LB or like
People shorten it anyway, and people just do. They just shorten names. But do people use that lines or not? Or
no, they don't. They're just lines behind. They just know it is that.
Where you see lines behind when every time we see it. So yeah.
So, but it's. I mean,
where did that style come from as well? Because it's quite a unique style, and obviously I'm going to ask you 3 different questions here. So. Standard.
Hold on.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to remember them now. Where did that style come from? And also, as an artist, do you get bored with that? Are you does that worry you? Is that a kind of thing that's in your brain?
No.
And are you just, because it's one of those things you go, I don't want to do the same thing again.
Are you asking
that
as a filmmaker?
I'm asking that as a human being, as a creative, because you go, you don't want to go down a road where you're just knocking them out. That's what I'm trying to get to. So is that a pressure on you as well? Because there is a creative pressure inside your head.
There was a lot of like me being a yes man a few years ago. Okay. And then, or like, it got to a point where people were using the term, can I pay you now? Like, and just wait in a digital queue. And I was like, oh, this is pretty efficient. Like, but then it got to the point where I was like, I couldn't keep track of things, even with the system. I was like, I was falling behind. I was like, some things I would like absolutely love and take longer days to do it, and then some days I'd just be like, oh God, I've got another mural, I've got another mural, and it's like, I mean, some of the jobs are like mass. I'm working on one at the minute, and it's like the length of the whole street. Do you know what I mean? It's massive, but it's like, I think going back to art as a whole, like I'm a massive advocate and fan of Keith Haring, and like we've had a few things. I've had a few things where people call with like the Geordie Keith Haring or like, and like I buzz off that. Do you know what I mean? Like this is what we do. My studio has got like I've got every book of Keith Haring, and like I mean I'd love to be like I'm the Geordie Keith Haring, but we don't want to be known for the drug side of things or the drink side of things. And I think like ultimately like he's a legend, and like I'm seeing these drops now with like H&M. I'm seeing these drops in like the art museums with certain like product lines, or like he's doing skate decks, and it's like his legacy's lived on, and like obviously he's running the foundation now and putting the money back into that foundation for them. But it's like this legacy's like living on. There's no, it's timeless art. Do you know what I mean? Like I think there's times where like we've been copied like left, right, and center, but it's not. It's like nobody does it better than us. Do you know what I mean? We are the jigsaw masters of drawing like that. That's our style. That's what we're known for. So it's like I'll look at things and I'll think, oh, like I'm a critique in my own, but it's like I'm always tinkering. Like I'm always like that Picasso. Like Amy will go like, "You're still doing that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I love it. Like I love. It needs to be right." Like there'll be certain things where I'm drawing even a footballer, and it's like there's a certain crease that isn't in that top the way I want it to be, or like so like I just lose myself in it at times, and then like I say, we have some projects where you're like, bloody hell, like that's phenomenal to work with them, and it's like, but there's a lot of pressure comes with them types of things.
You have to do it. They're asking you to do it there and then. You go, right, I'm going to start from scratch on somebody else's idea. But it's got to be interpreted by you. And there is a pressure. It's not just you, doodling in your room, is it?
Like we did a big project for Sephora in Newcastle recently, and here's me thinking black and white. Do you know what I mean? This is everything for me. Dream partnership, and it's like, but this is like a mass brand. You know what I mean? Seen all over the world, owned by Louis Vuitton and Moët and Chandon. So it's a massive group. Anyways, Saatchi reached out. Well, yeah, it was me going, bloody hell, like I'm just little James at the time. I'm thinking, I mean, this was only last year, and so I'm doing this. I get the message, but they can't tell you the client. I can tell you now because we've done the work. But it's so I'm thinking Saatchi, this is mega. Like I followed them from my college days. Like these are the biggest creative agency in the world. Essentially, they do the John Lewis Christmas advert. So they were like, we're working with this client, blah, 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 down. And we ended up doing these like VIP illustrated programs for like the VIP event that they were launching these 2 stores in Newcastle. And I was thinking, God, this is amazing. But then at the same time, you're having to like kind of push through the other work or kind of block book that for, I can't do it this week, but I can do it from this week. So people are respective of that. But at the same time, like it's delivering and making them go, wow, that's exactly what we wanted and more. And like I say, I was out with the dog the other night, and I got a call back from a big agency in London again, and it was like just this repeat step of like, once you do good and deliver and you're right in your own ways, it's always going to just keep pushing and keep opening doors. So, but yeah, I think ultimately, like going back to what your question there, like there's no, I love what I do, so it's like.
But you feel the pressure on somebody giving you commission as to like doing your own thing and having that breathing space to do it, because you've got deadlines and stuff, because you work in advertising, it's a deadline and you got to knock it out. You don't want to get to that point with your own stuff, do you?
No.
So there's going to be an internal pressure on yourself.
Yeah, I mean, Fenwick is always a big one because of how many products we put through there now, and obviously we've got a really big part of the store now. I think we were in the top 3 of best-selling brands for the whole home and gift department, which is mega. Like, I think we're number 2 now, which is, I want to get the number 1 spot, but be difficult. But we'll keep pushing on. But I think
who's number 1? Do you know?
I don't know. It was the World Bookseller was number 3.
Yeah.
Like the Hungry Caterpillar and stuff. They're selling on there. But I think Denby Pottery were in there as well. But it's not about that. It's just like, I want to live this legacy of like, God, I was number 1, like, and I can tell the story. So it's almost like when I give back and go, well, I always have in my mind, if I'm doing it, you can do it too. But Fenwick, I try and like, I'm working on next year's Christmas already. So it's like, you just got to be thinking like, if you want to enjoy it, you've got to put the time in now and then speak for next year. So when we're getting these collaborations with like Chili's bottles and stuff like that, like ultimately I want to be working on the next thing now, even though they've just gone in the store. So it's like, allow them the time to sell, but we know that they're going to go.
There's only certain at the time that you can sit down and kind of sit and create though.
Yeah.
And because it's art, you need that time. It's not something you can go, that'll take us 2 hours. It might not. It might take you 5.
Well, there's
2 days.
There's creative windows. And my window's sometimes like 7 o'clock at night. Or like when the little one's just gone to bed, I'm like, right, a little bit of tunes on. And that's me kind of right through. I could probably work till 3 a.m. if I wanted to. Yeah. But this goes back to working 9 till 5 and hustling. Aye. And that's my bread and butter. It's just being like, there's like me and Nana will go like, you should just set yourself some boundaries and work from 8 till 4. And I'm thinking like, you can't. Nah, you can't. And it might be just like a generational thing, but like there's sometimes where I've just got a notepad sitting, and if I don't write something down, I'll forget. My head's just going constantly like that. And I'm always like thinking, it's just an entrepreneurial thing. So it's always thinking about the next thing, or like, oh, what happens if I do this, or what? Yeah. And I know if I create a product, there's a demand there for it. So it's like, what are the public want? What are the people want? And I'm asking them all the time. And it's like, when we can deliver that, it's phenomenal. It's a great feeling. Like I get messages at the weekend saying like everything's disappeared off the shelf. And I know there's more stock of the chilies, but it's like people are messaging me that, and then I'm having to relay it to the store. And it's like, it's great that like, I mean, there's a queue there. Like Fenwick have said that people are now starting to ring the store and say, can you put 2 aside? Can you put 1 aside? And getting the bus in. And it's like, there's not a product out there that I can really think of, other than like Sony PlayStation or something.
That goes from like having an audience to having like demand requirements, doesn't it?
But it's not often that happens though, is it?
Nah, like last year, I got a link, and it's StockX, where people buy like reselling stuff, big global American, and they had my bottles on there selling for 130 quid. And it's like the bottles were selling in Fenwick for 30, 35 quid. But then this guy had 16 listed, so like £2.5 worth of bottles, and they're not there anymore. So I'm guessing they've sold, and it's like mental. Like, it blows my mind, and I'm just like, God, like.
Yeah.
Well, the value is how much somebody's willing to pay for it. That's what art is anyway. Can you see yourself like doing less but charging more for it? Is that a thing as well?
Yeah, like I say, when you're working with these global partners, obviously it comes with a lot of like, they're reaching out to you because you're a premium brand. We have kind of set boundaries in a rate for everyone across the board. Like, we want the content at the end of the day, and we want the continuous work. And then, yeah, I think ultimately, if you want to be selling art for 250, 300 grand, then I've got to go down that fine art style, in the sense of like some originals, maybe. Host an art show in town, maybe do something. There's talk of us doing something with a big artist. It's been ongoing. You'll know who he is. I'm not going to mention it, but that's where I get my buzz. You see, and I'm thinking, is this the door that opens these fine art galleries? And I've seen something at the weekend with Invader. You know, who does the tiles of the Invaders around Paris and stuff. Yeah. He's just done a big like collaborative event in London with Shepard Fairey. Does the Obey Giant. And these like 4 artists that are all in their own lanes, but they've all come together collectively and collaboratively. So there's doors for that.
Does that happen often though, collaborations? Because artists are very single soul people. Do you know what I mean? They're kind of individuals in their own right.
Yeah.
But coming together seems to be the thing now.
Yeah, 100%. Like, my business built on collaboration. That's how I've kind of opened many doors, many audiences. We did a chocolate bar with Steffi at the Chocolate Smiths. Yeah. And we did a series of 3, and like before the wrapping machine, they couldn't keep up with the demand of them going out the door. And it was just like, because there is a demand there, like the Geordies are rooted, man. There's Geordies all over the world. Like, we sell work to like Hong Kong, Jamaica, Dubai, like all over, every single daily. Do you know what I mean? It's like, because people want a sense of home, or they go, oh, I need that. Like the amount of people that are wanting these Chili's bottles to go on the link and go online because they've got friends abroad or whatever. And it's like, but yeah, I've built my brand collaboratively, being seen with some mega people, which has kind of helped the growth along the way. So I think ultimately, if I've got any advice for anyone, it's use your work and stay in your own lane. But if there's opportunities to collaborate, then go for it, man.
Well, it kind of opens the door of like, well, it's somebody's given me an idea that I don't have to set my own idea. No, all right. And it's sort of, I don't know, it's a different kind of gets your juices flowing, do you know what I mean? And a different creative avenue, you know?
I say, for me, it was, well, prime example. I remember it was in the pandemic, so I had the face masks on, and I managed to, well, it was the South Shields print. I did a South Shields print. And a lot of people think I'm from South Shields, but I'm not, but they've backed us, and honestly, I'm very grateful for that. If we were to move house, we would move to South Shields for that reason. But yeah, they're great. And I think when we did this piece, we were shifting like, probably like 5 tens of thousands of these South Shields prints, and everyone was loving them. And it was like I remember just delivering them because I just didn't have the logistics at the time. I was like, God, like,
how do you do that?
It was the pandemic, and I remember my framer couldn't keep up with the demand that he offloaded us to another framers, and we had like, was it like 3 or 4 people working 8 hours a day for like 3 weeks? It was ridiculous. It was good.
It's about a production line,
mental, crazy.
But it is, man. You think, you know, for some, like, you know, something that you're going to consume, like a food or something, you get that. But for art, it's a different thing, wasn't it?
But with the art, I put Chris and Rosie's name in there. I had like Jade and Perry's name in there, and it was just like, right, like this. There's something in this. Do you know what I mean? Like, people just love, whether they're here, there, or everywhere. People are rooted. There's something about the North. It's special. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've been here for years, and it's just like this. It's endless. It's timeless.
I was going to ask you how important the Northeast lean-in is to you as well.
Oh, it's massive.
Your work.
It's massive. It's massive. I say we've done a few Sunderland bits as well. I know we're over here now, but we've done a few Sunderland bits where like people just want that bit. Like we had and like I'm a massive music advocate as well, and like I love every bit of like, say, Sam Fender, of like Frankie and the Heartstring. As he bought one of my pieces, and I was just like, God, it's mega. Like, it's like. And then I had Johnny, who has the Cole Buxton brand. Yeah. His man reached out to us for a print for his birthday. Well, like, Cole Buxton for me was like, I'm quite a fashionista in the sense of like, I like following people's success stories. Obviously, he's from the Northeast. He's a proud Mackem, and I'm thinking like, God, the next thing I know, like, my work's all over his like socials, and his mum was just like, oh, this is going down, but don't say anything. And I was just like, bloody hell, this is phenomenal. And then Cole reached out and was like, "This is great work." Like, and you just don't know who's looking, you don't know who's following them, and it's like. Anyways,
it just obviously resonates with people. That's
it does.
Thing,
it does. I was speaking to him a couple of months ago, and he had some new pieces up on his wall. I says, "He says, "Yep, it's up in my office." I thought that's pretty special. Like, but back to the South Shields piece, crazy, right? Our beta reached out, and then next thing we know, like, well, we did this piece for Jade, but we wrapped the frame as well, so it was almost like a one of one, and we delivered it. Anyways, went down an absolute storm, and I get this like WhatsApp voice note from Jade. I think, yeah, like mega. Like, she was in Little Mix at the time, and she basically sends us this voice note, and I've still got it on my phone now. It's because it's like they're the moments that I'm like to pinch myself, basically. The biggest girl brand in the world at the time, and you just don't know who, like I say, you don't know who's looking. She basically wanted us to work on this South Shields shirt with Cancer Connections and raise some money for Cancer Connections. To be fair, it was a great cause, and I was all over it. And South Shields are probably the biggest football team around here.
Sorry, I can say that because I'm a sand dancer.
But no, like I say, this community shirt was launched and it did really well, and we raised a lot of money for the trust. And Jade really pushed it, and it was shared all over her socials and mentioned Lines Behind, and like, yeah, we've had serious growth in the sense of all these Little Mix fan pages that follow Lines Behind now and love what we do, and kind of it falls in that advocate thing of like, when people live and breathe certain things, they'll follow you and kind of So it was like I maximised the opportunity and had like James Dixon, my name on the side of the sleeve, for collaboration with Jade Thirlwell, and it was really nice. And she's mint. She's absolutely mint. I don't know if you met her, but she's good as gold, like absolutely down to earth, like mint.
It's brand. It's like new relationships, and it starts that, doesn't it? And like you said, it opens a door to another world.
Yeah.
And then there's another cluster of people.
I mean, like I say, you don't know who's watching her. Yeah. The shirt then appears on her feed, and it's like, mega. We did like a 4-hour photo shoot with her, and it was just like, a man was there, and it was class, like really. And I was thinking, bloody hell, like nobody really gets these opportunities or experiences, and that's when it comes back to what I was saying earlier. It was like, you just don't know what door's going to open from this. And then what I'm going to go on to is. So we nailed that, and it was phenomenal, and we had some amazing feedback, lots of content off it. And one night I got a message on LinkedIn, and this was the Great North Run, and they messaged me, and it was basically this was like amongst the pandemic, so they did the race around Newcastle, but they wanted the race to go ahead.
Yeah.
But then they wanted to basically celebrate going back to South Shields. So this is where I'm like, this is where I come in. And they messaged me saying, "We love what you did with Jade. Love the shirt. Like, would you be open to doing the shirt for the finishers and the medal?" Well, I was like, bloody hell. Yeah. Like, I remember showing the message. I probably still got the message on my LinkedIn, like, because I keep everything. I'm always like, and then I'll kind of regurgitate it. I'll look back on it, and I'm like, that was 2022 to where I am now, and who I work with a game. But I think that message came through, and it was kind of like a rude awakening, and in the sense of like, you've got a full design team, you're a full corporate organization, but I've got to be really grateful that this message has come through. Like what an opportunity. Yeah. So I was like, let us sleep on it type thing. And then I was just like, you know what, this is an absolute dream gig. And I was thinking in my head, probably comes with a lot of pressure. A lot of people going like, when that launches, are they going to love it? Like, and do you know what? We did this work, and it was phenomenal. And basically, I've run it that many times. Like, it was like my head splurged out onto this t-shirt. Essentially, the route, you had the Elvis runners, the Elvis impersonator in there, to the free beer that was given out mile 13. This whole journey. And I mean, I'm not biased, but I still think it's the best shirt that there's been. And like, honestly, 60,000 runners getting that at the end. And yeah, it was a pretty special moment. And I had my mate over. He's got a really big position within Nike out in Portland, and he came over for it and he ran it, and he was just like, what a gig, man. Like, it was phenomenal. Like, just to live and breathe that, all the local dialect that was splurging out. They had like a run booster zone in mile 6, and they basically bought all these like characters off the t-shirt to like life size. And like loads of people were holding signs up, and Sam Fender, they had Sam Fender blasting as you were running through. It was like a little booster, basically. It was class. And I was just thinking, my work's everywhere. It's like everywhere. But yeah.
So when they're going to give you the key to the Northeast, then?
I was just going to say that, like, if you can earn medals, right? You've earned all the medals.
You've got all the medals, and I'm like, have you got a room, like a shrine with all of these things on a wall? You've got to do that, man.
I wouldn't mind free parking, but I do all right.
Special badge, you can design your own badge to go on.
I do all right. The Northeast's got me back, and a lot of people. There's a lot of people that notice us on the streets and that, and it's like, or kids, like we've got like a massive kids kind of audience now in the sense of like people love what we do. But that was mega, and like I say, it was. Still look back, and I mean, someone said to us the other day, like, what's the best thing that you've ever done? And I probably couldn't say. There's one thing recently that really stood out we just did it last December, and I got a message off Newcastle United, and this was a project. I'd done a project with them previously for some of the partners where we got asked to illustrate the season, like all the milestones. That was like gifts for their partners, the likes of Red Bull and Saudi Fly, and wasn't Adidas at the time. Anyways, we put this piece together. It was phenomenal. All the highlights was like the betting partners and stuff like that, and it went down a real treat. And like people were loving it. And I got a message. It was completely out of the blue, saying, "James, what's your whereabouts tomorrow?" And I was like, "Oh," and it was like, "What's your where?" Say it was Wednesday. "What's your whereabouts on Friday?" And I was like, busy, man. Do you know what I mean? Busy. What's going on? Anyways, they said, would you like to, it was Newcastle United, to work with the foundation and InPost, the lockers.
Yeah.
And they said, do you want to host an art class in an underprivileged school in the West End? I was like, bloody hell, I love community stuff. So I was like all over that. And that for me, like, it was phenomenal. So basically, we went in to this underprivileged school, and the kids were just like, sat there. There was about 30 or 40 of them in a room. And I got introduced and kind of said, like, I basically want to do this project with you guys. I think we were like year 5 or year 6. And I remember looking at the art teacher and I says, we've probably got about 20 minutes to keep them fully engaged. And she was like, yeah, you're probably right. And we had all these big bits of paper out on all the tables, loads of pens. And I had a few bits of my work. And I said, look, what does Newcastle mean to you? I want to know. And honestly, it was phenomenal. Like there was one lassie, she drew a family car going over the Tyne Bridge because she loves going to the Metro Centre. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, it's not your stereotypical, like, I love a sausage roll. Do you know what I mean? It
That's
was
what
just,
I like about it though. It's so nuanced.
So I was like, oh, and then there was one lad said, sir, to me. And I says, he says, I don't know what to draw because I really want to impress you. And I says, well, just let your imagination flow. Do you know what I mean? And he says, I'm trying to draw a pair of shorts. And he went, can you draw us a pair of shorts? And I went, yeah. So I drew the pair of shorts, and he was signing it off as himself. Just kept going round on it.
Thanks very much.
So, but I was just like, I was really touched, and some of the artists were kids essentially were phenomenal. Like one of them drew this big Tyne Bridge over the 4 bits of paper. And anyways, cut long story short, it was one of them days where like the hairs were like standing up, and I was just like, this is phenomenal. Anyways, I pieced all all their drawings together to create a mural. And I like intervened so it was almost like my interpretation with Kit. And I was thinking, God, this is quite clever. Like there's probably more, in my mind thinking like, there's probably like something we could do with this in the sense of product market and kind of kick on in that. You look at the hospitals, we could do kids murals in there, so on. And anyways, we did this piece, and there was a TV production there, so that was really nice. And then I'm sitting having tea at home, it's like sausage and mash or something, and I get a message through, and it's Newcastle United inviting you to be a collaborator on a post. And I was thinking, like, nobody gets this, man. It's massive. Yeah, massive. And like for me, like I screenshotted and I sent it to my mates, and I'm just they're like unbelievable that like. Yeah. And then this advert goes out essentially, basically showing the InPost lockers that we've wrapped, and we did this thing where the kids came up and seen the lockers on the launch night, and it was just around Christmas, so they basically put in a number and the locker would open, and they would get like a Newcastle hat, a Newcastle teddy bear, a scarf, a backpack, and different things in different lockers. There was like hot chocolate on. It was a really nice night, and I just thought, you know what, like it reminded us a bit like a John Lewis advert in the sense of what we'd done there. And I just thought, what a nice thing to do. And I just like in my mind, I was like, that's probably up there with one of the best things. And I didn't really have much input because I allowed them to kind of go for it. But yeah, it's class. I'm still thinking about it now, and I'm just
so you've done so many like incredible things, like benchmark stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like you must look at the horizon now and think, oh, what would you love to do?
Oh yeah.
Like, what do you sit at home at night and think, if I could get that, if I could do that, what would it be?
Well, like I say, Red Bull approached us, and we did a big backdrop for some fashion shows, and it's like that was phenomenal. Like Red Bull, do you know what I mean? And like, I mean, the biggest gig I've done recently was back off. Like, this is what I'm going about. Like, when you deliver the work, you'll always get that door open. It's like, oh, I wonder if we can work with James on this again. And I get a message, and I was down for the cup final at Wembley, and it was phenomenal. And like, yeah, we've had all these years of just like, well, we're kind of back in it at the minute, but we have all this like joys of supporting Newcastle. And like, I was down at Wembley. We won, and the final whistle went. And I just didn't know what to do. Like, a lot of the lads went out and had a few beers, and we went to Pizza Express and had a pizza and a Coke, and we just like sat there going like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Anyways, I get a phone call later that week saying, "Hi James, would you mind illustrating the final?" And obviously the town. Well, it was like after, so it was like, "Can you illustrate the final, the town moor, and the parade, basically all in one piece?" And I was just like, bloody hell, like pressure job that, but like I was there, man. I lived and breathed it, and it's like, it was phenomenal. So I put this piece together, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go that extra mile. I'm going to print it in gold. So it was like the winner's 25 bit was like when you shimmered the artwork. Yeah. It was foil blocked, and foil, it was lush. Nice. And we did them for all the players, all the backroom staff, all the partners, anyone that was associated with the club. And I remember I wasn't feeling too well that week, but it was all done, and I had to deliver it. I wasn't well, but I was like a bit under the weather. I was just like turning the season. And anyways, I went down the training ground, and she was like, "Oh, we delivered them." I was so proud, man. I was just like, God, this is...
When you're delivering a big...
Nah, I was buzzing. Like today, today I was just driving around and it's normal, do you know what I mean? I've never done this before, but I'm never like, it's not out of my comfort zone. I've done so much that it's like, I seen something the other day and it was a quote, and it was like, you know what? I can't remember what it was, but it was basically a spin on like that moment of like anxiety and regret opens so much at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Like it goes back to this, you don't know who's watching. Anyways, I delivered this. It was in my van, had all these pieces, and even my framers are like, just like, this is incredible. Do you know what I mean? Like in 10 years' time, like, or like whenever, like I'm sitting here and like, I don't know, even when I'm 60, 70, look back and be like, that first major trophy. Like I did this for the players and that, and it's like, and it's...
that's a canny bit of weight on your shoulders. Did you think about it though? Did you think of the significance from a football point of view?
It's a bit tainted now every time I look at it, like, but the whole Isaac thing, it's like, it's just like one of them things. But anyways, it was phenomenal. And I'm thinking like, God, like these players have probably got them hanging, or like they've passed them on or whatever. And it's like, it was mega. And it got to the point where I posted it, going back, sorry, the players' liaison says, "Oh, Bernie's in there. Do you want a photo?" And I was like, bloody hell, like, I'm living in Blythe at the minute. So it's like, this goes down as a piece of history. He comes out and he was like, "Oh, I've seen your work. It's phenomenal. And like, this is amazing." But nobody knew apart from him. So it was like, don't say anything, basically. The players are going to get them at the last game or whatever it was for the season. It was Everton. It was the Everton game, they were all getting them. And I was like, this is going to be everything and more. So I posted it that night. Just went off. I literally must have had about 3,000, 4,000 messages off the public asking to buy it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I was thinking to myself, like, can't do it. Like, this is a fully bespoke piece, but imagine if we could.
How many did you create?
It was one of ones.
Yeah.
But there was about 150 to 170 frames.
Yeah.
But do you know what? There was a road to Wembley. It was Graham Jones and Kieran Trippier did a road to Wembley gig apart with St Oswald's. Yeah. And I get a phone call off St Oswald's saying, "Oh, James, thanks for donating one of your pieces. It went for an astronomical amount." And I was thinking, I've never donated anything. I was like, St Oswald's on one of my clients, so we speak to them on the regular and kind of do a lot of work for them. Really good. And I was like, there's nothing I've kind of handed in. Unless someone's bought something from Fenwick, like, and donated it. Further down the line, Graham Jones had donated a piece. It was the winner's piece, and it went for over $4,000.
Wow.
And I was like, little A3 frame.
Yeah, me.
And I was like, that's absolutely phenomenal. Like for amazing charity, amazing cause. And then I've got one sitting ready to gift him again because I want him to have that piece as an amazing gesture. But I'm like, you know what? Like I want you to have that piece of history. So like for me, it was, that was real. Like, yeah. I remember my Amy commented saying like, I've seen like the dedication and the hours you've put into this basically. Like it was my everything, poured everything into it. Kind of just blocked out the month.
You've got a copy.
I don't actually. I don't. I don't.
Man,
honestly, I kick myself. Nah. I kick myself like because, well, yeah. It's just. I mean, I'd love a signed one as well, but it's one of them. Like I just think, well, that's it. I'm just like that person where I'm just like nothing kind of phases and just want to crack on and think right. Like you don't know who's watching, and then off the back of that, some of the Saudi partners got these as gifts, and then ended up doing some of the top dog people out in Saudi, some of their houses. So I've been doing that recently. So yeah, mega. So yeah.
What, going out there? And doing
No, I haven't done it. It's all installed.
Yeah.
I just basically done it all third party. So I illustrated it here in Blythe, and then was speaking to him on the daily out in Jeddah.
That is brilliant.
And then he was like, James, I know you can't speak Arabic, but there's a lot of work out here for you, and I'll help you. And that's the door that's opening all the time. So I'm just like, as long as I'm the do-gooder all the time, like I'm the one that holds the door open for someone, I'm the one that picks the shopping up, I'm the one that does that. And I think if I do something, even if it doesn't happen, one good thing like might happen that month, I go, that's why I held the door open and that's why I did that. So
do you remember the first door
you
that
link it
opened
like
properly?
that? Yeah.
Always positivity, always. My mate goes the other day, he's like, you're the most positive person in the world.
See, we have to be more positive, like James.
So,
be more, James.
I just like that because I've had a lot of negativity over the years as well. So it's just like it's just one of them ones where you know what, I've got a mind shift now where like I follow a lot of like people in the sense of like what I want to see on the daily. Do you know what I mean? Like try and do things that are just going to try and better me.
It's a choice though, James. You can kind of spend your energy being positive or negative. Do you know what I mean? But I get the fact that if shit happens to you all the time, then it's going to get you. But how did you make the shift?
I think it's just getting with age. I think. I mean, I'm 37 now, so 19-year-old me would be like, oh, like heads in tatters, like I'm not doing it, like I'm folding it in. Do you know what I mean? Like, but then now I'm just like, nah, another day opens, or like, like I say, you just don't know any time. Like, I mean, I had a DM a few weeks ago, big show coming to the BBC, local one. Could I do all the artwork for it? It's like, that goes down to like, is that because I picked up someone's shopping, or is that because I've just like, do you know what I mean? Little things, fill the car up for the missus before she goes to nursery. Like totally. I'm just trying to like be that person all the time where it's like, not so it like impacts my life, but it's like, because there's a lot of things where like now I might get like say 50 mural requests. I can't do all them. So I'll just be like, right, you know what, I'm going to work with that independent because that door might open off the back of that. Like, it goes back to what you were saying before, like, what's the dream gig? Don't know. Like, do you know what? Work with the banks because they're all boring and corporate. Yeah. Do Lloyd's Bank? I've banked with them for years. There's so much that could be doing. Kids zones where I illustrate all these stuff. Make the banks where you walk in, it's cooler, man, than what it is. Yeah. All interactive and a bit more like out there. Like, we've worked with some like recruitment agencies like down in Brighton where like everyone in the field's so like sleek, but we changed the game. We wrapped cars for them. They drove them around London, and then they opened an office in London. It was creating like people going like, love these cars, love this, and it was all my work. But it was like you've just broke the mold essentially. Yeah, and that's what we're about. We always have this like elevate, engage, transform. That's kind of like what I want to do. Like, and if we can't engage, can we transform? Can we elevate? Like, I know they all mean the same thing, but like, what do you want from us? Yeah, like I'm going to plug Reese here at 40 ounce. But little burger joint.
You were going to get that in, didn't you?
It's one of them. But like he's like, mention us on the local heroes, and I was like, mate, like everyone talks about his packaging. Yeah, his burgers are banging. Don't get us wrong. But he's got this like 90s hip hop themed, and I was like, bloody hell, that is I used to listen to Biggie and Tupac growing up, thinking I was cool. Do you know what I mean? And then you see the bigger picture of all this, like Los Angeles skateboard and all this, and then it was probably like last year, Kalani Ghost Hunter, TikTok. He was at 40 ounce, and I literally was on my thing, and a few people sent us it as well, and he's like, this has to be the best packaging in the UK, and I just thought, you know what, like if he was seeing that, And I'm thinking in my head, I wonder if I can do something with Kalani now. Like, I know he's good pals with Richie Chips, like, but
he is, and he did because he went and did a review of Coleman's, didn't he?
did I?
Coleman's.
I met him at Fenwick when we did Richie stuff at Coleman's.
Yeah.
But these are the gigs, man. Like Richie's one of my really good pals, and it's like when you do a wall in Fenwick, comes with a lot of pressure when you're telling someone's journey for the last 100 years.
Oh yeah, totally.
His dad had a piss next to him in the toilet, and he says, phenomenal. Like, he's going to his mate, phenomenal artist, him.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I don't see that, you see. And he'd go, no, seriously, very, very talented or very good. And I'm thinking, like, I look at him and I go, you're a bloody legend.
Oh, you're a legend. Totally.
Do you know what I mean?
But it's like, we spent the week with him.
I know you did. Out in Italy. We did this wall, and I'm looking at it, and I'm so proud of it. That my mate was over from America, and I was like, look, we're not going to eat because it was still getting installed and set up. And he's like, bloody hell, mate, that's phenomenal. And it was class, and like drawing all the temple and stuff, it was mint.
Yeah.
And Richie, I remember Richie, I sent it over and I was like, mate, any changes, let us know. Like he's like, it's that good. I'm driving over to my dad's to show him now. And it was just like, that's the feedback that you want. And it's like, I didn't look at that as like right on to the next, but I'm like, God, like this is everything. You know what I mean? I'm being able to work with my mate. I've delivered this cool thing for his brand, and I'm thinking like, Richie, you could be doing loads of stuff, really.
Yeah.
And anyways, I remember he did the famous wall, and he's put me in the middle with Chris and Rosie, and I thought, God. But yeah, and it's like these gigs where it's just like people go, they might not have seen my lines behind Store and Phoenix, but they've seen Coleman's wall, or who's done that, and you get a message in the day. Melia's a big one inside.
I was going to ask you that because I was going to ask what
we
your
get a
first
lot of work off
window
Melia.
was, because I remember seeing that.
Yeah,
about 4 years ago.
They'll be coming up. It'll be coming up 4 years, yeah. So they reached out. Yeah, that was phenomenal actually, because like Melia hadn't heard of, and next thing you know, they're the biggest Spanish hotel group, and we've had this like relationship over the last 4 years. Well, 5 years, because it took a year to build the hotel, and like we've just celebrated some birthday artwork with them recently, and like they're always looking for that. Like they're cool. They're a cool hotel, don't you? When you stay there, you don't think you're in Newcastle.
Yeah,
and it's like they get all the football teams in there, but like it's more down to the fact that like we can change that like look on perspective of like you going into a hotel and people go, it's bloody cool, like like we've got a full wrapped bloody photo booth in there, Stamparazzi photo booth, and it's like I'm walking in with my mates the other day and they're going, that's class, that, like, and I'm like, welcome to my art gallery, lads, or like, do you know what I mean? We've got a full blown kiosk, selling loads of products behind the reception. And I found out that, I mean, we do seriously well down there for a hotel. And like whenever we'll go away somewhere, I'm not buying anything in a hotel unless I've forgot my swim shorts or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, who's the market? Who's the product there? Like we did a giveaway with High Life North. It's still ongoing now, to win an overnight stay, 3-course meal, bed and breakfast, and a few of my stuff. And I took down a frame print to get some photos in the room of it. And there was a couple of Americans walking out saying, oh, I love that. Can I buy it? I was like literally walking in with my artwork. And this goes back to the demand before. And she was like, oh, my husband has bought a load of your cards and he loves all, and they were from America. And I'm thinking like, God. Yeah, so it's just like, but that kiosk's the best selling kiosk in the whole group. And they've got 400 hotels. And they said they were in a meeting the other day and they were like, primarily it's all James's stuff. Like, so it just goes back to, we can't keep up. We just can't keep up with that. Like, we stocked Plants Plus at the weekend. It's almost sold out. And it's like they're already like forecasting, going, right, can we get more? Can we get 100 of these? Can we get, do you know what I mean? It's just like, but it goes back to me being one person.
Anymore, yeah?
So we click a few buttons for the supplier side of things.
You're not sleeping? My God.
No, I do sleep. Get enough
sleep.
It's just like I'm getting quicker, faster. I know what sells. It's like,
does it become overwhelming, or have you just got your business hat on now?
At times it does, and obviously you get a few like gun to the head days as well. I don't know if you can say that, but there's a lot of things where it becomes like, oh, this is just work. But then there's certain things. Well, the admin side, that's what I don't like. Love to be creative. Don't want to chase invoices. Don't want to
just get somebody to do that for you.
Well, it's all automated, but it's so automated now that they just think, oh, it's automated.
Still, overseeing it.
It's I just want to be creative and enjoy certain things, and kind of like I've got a really, really cool idea. We'll be coming into 10 years, 9 years and then 10, so it'll be either maybe next year, like 2027. And I've got me in my head that I want to do something not like the Angel of the North size, but I want to do something really cool. Like, so trying to work with something in the pipe works with that. So it's nearly there.
Interesting.
Yeah, really
You already
cool.
got ideas in your head?
So it's done. It just needs sign off.
Right, okay.
So it's
Little
mega.
teaser.
It's mega.
Big day, I think.
I just can't even picture it in my head. As what it
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sculpturesque, but
All right, okay.
it's just giving back to the northeast essentially. There'll be two of them, just waiting for sign off. One's kind of got the go ahead, and the other one's got the go ahead.
Yeah.
Just a few loopholes. But yeah, it's really exciting, and it's almost just saying, right, thank you for my 10 years. I mean, if we get to 10 years, and thanks for everyone. Basically, thanks for every support, every angle, every intro, this is the guy you need to work with, or up and down the country, man. We're really, really passionate and really positive, and it goes back to what I said before. It's like just being that better person all the time, and just staying grounded.
Yeah.
So my old framer, like the guy, I met him the other week. He says, you know what I love about you, James? I says, what? He says, you've never changed. He says, I told you never to change, but he says, you've stuck to it. You've just stayed grounded, stayed humble. And it's like, yeah, that's what it should be. Like, I don't say I'm famous or anything like that. I just want people to think, like, the more talks I can do in the unis and colleges. I went there, you see. There was no opportunity.
Where'd you go to college, by the way?
I was at Newcastle College.
Yeah.
Did art for a year, and then I started tinkering with computers, and everyone was like, well, you should just do graphic design. So I did graphic design. And then I was illustrating, and my teacher, I can never thank her enough, but I was like, right, I'm going to do illustration. She was like, no, do graphic design, but use your illustration as your strong point. And it's just like, seen her in the Chinese about a year ago, and she was like, you're doing phenomenal. I'm so proud of you. And I was just like, I always root back to them conversations. So there's certain things that people will tell us, and they'll just stick with us forever. Yeah. And that's why I follow certain things on social, because I want to be thinking, there's certain things where I'm just like, all right, okay.
I think that's where your desire to help with you talk about community stuff and working in schools. That comes back from having the fact that you've had people like that back to you. And
Like, we're on the verge of sponsoring the design course at Newcastle College. Yeah. It's like a full circle moment for me. So, and we go in, and all the students are always buzzing off our talks, because it's more visual. It's more like who we've worked with, like celebrity-based, famous people, to really cool global brands where people might not be necessary for one person, but someone will relate to it somewhere down the line. Do you know what I mean? They'll know something that we work with. Yeah. So
it's a real life success story, though, James, because that'll inspire the students. Yeah. You know? I think.
Well, it's like, I've started here. Yeah. You're doing it now. And I'm still here, but essentially, like, you can do it too. Like, all when I had like all these big stockists, for like my cards and my gifts and stuff like that, all these people go to like trade shows. I literally was just doing it from my bedroom at one point, and it was just like, this is how I want to do it. I remember like getting one card stockist. It's got taken out, but it was a really famous card shop. And I remember reaching out to someone that I knew that stocked them, and I was like, is such and such still the card buyer at such and such? And she was like, no, it's this person. So that was me just thinking like, all right, okay, just being ballsy and risky at the same time. And I was like, well, what's their email address again? And and she was like, no, it's this. And I was like, right,
that's the way to do it.
Here's my email. Here's the email address. There's my catalogue, bank stocked. Didn't have to go and trade down in London or wherever you had to go. And I was thinking like, so I started doing that a bit more. And then obviously we built a profile now, and kind of people know we've never had to pitch for any work, which I'd love to. Yeah. So that goes back to what you were saying before about who do you want to work with. And it's like, we've never had to pitch. It's always like, can you do this? Or would you like to do this? Or there's an opportunity here. Do you want to? No, we just kind of say, yes or no. And it's a great position.
Of course it is.
But I was like, I'd love to just have like a little kind of factory leave or a bit of lull where it's like, I set myself like a year ago, like every Friday I wanted to just not do any work, but just create products or like create something, just draw essentially. Yeah. So I've still got that in to a degree. Like, I'll just come up with a new product design or something like that. But because you need that, do you know what I mean? You need that like away from the desk, or like we've started another business, a drinks business called Water, and that's doing very well. But that's because I'm so on my own. That's with a group of friends that've got unmatched energy. And it's like, because we've got an unmatched energy, it's just going like that. So that's really good. And I think with me, like, I'm starting to learn now is where like when you're the artist, it's very timely. Yes, we love it, But like when someone takes a sip of something or like a bite of a burger, you're going back, and it's like it's less is more. Time is the essence. Do you know what I mean?
Is. Well, I mean, it's just business, though, isn't it? Because you can't do everything by yourself, can you? So.
But then this goes back to what I was saying before. Keith Haring was only one person. Probably had a PA saying you need to be here, here, and here. Everything's obviously automated now. I mean, it would be nice to get some more gigs overseas, and we did a big office out in Dubai recently. So we'd love to kind of, I had this in my head where I was wanting to do that, maybe tap more international, because we've sewn up the Northeast. There's one brand I really want to work with in the Northeast left that I really want to work with. And I just need to make that happen. And then I'm kind of right, let's go and crack, say, Brazil, or let's go and... We had a lot of commissions from all over the world, but I'd love to work with brands all over the world. So I think that's probably my goal in the sense of what I want to be doing.
You put a lot of story into your work as well.
Yeah.
So clearly you think deeply.
Yeah.
And hence the story.
Yeah.
The inspiration.
Very detailed, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you a big deep thinker when you're walking the dog and stuff like that? Is that where your inspiration comes from? Yeah.
I try and just like either put some music on, or like it's always like drum and bass or something that's just constantly on the go music. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, my dog's my savior at times. Like down the beach most days, well, every day for the fields, and just right. That's my time. Come back, coffee, crack on, draw.
The dog like drum and bass as well.
You'd think so, aye.
One headphone each.
But that's definitely where my mental health's kind of, been a real help with the dog. Just kind of switching off. And
they're massively grounding, aren't they?
Yeah. I've learned a lot over the last, my little one's 2.5 now, but even them like 2 years of running a business, sleepless nights and just like not massive support coming from my side of things. And it's like, it's been really challenging, but I've pulled through and thought, God, this is my purpose in life now. Like my purpose was the dog, but now Jude's along here. Like it's just like, and he's like taking the crayons and drawing, and I'm just like basically seeing what I'm doing in prayer life. So, but I mean, we went into B&M yesterday, and I've got a big mural big mural for St. Oswald's, and that's Daddy's work or Daddy's work, and it's like,
that's lovely.
Yeah. And like went into Fenwick last year, and he was pointing out I says, can you point out the bridges? Pointing the Tyne Bridge out on my pieces of work, and it's like, get a photo and capture that. It just like, don't know, it just really resonates with me, and I'm thinking like, God, like I had like a really great upbringing, don't get us wrong, but there's been like troubles in the sense of opportunity. Like, I come from a little village at the time where like, if you wanted to be a pro footballer, for example, there was no opportunity. Where I think in this day and age in the world, like for example, going back to doing the talks and stuff in the colleges, it'd be great if I had that when I was at college, or like you can do this, or like, and that's where I'm thinking like, if I do good a bit of like, yes, I'll come in and do a talk. The kids like, can I message you on Instagram? Or like, I hope you don't mind, but I might message you at like midnight. And I'm like, do what you want. If I can give advice, I will. But I was like, hard work wins.
It's massively important though, James, because you think that you're like 10 years behind us age-wise. I'm 47. You think going back to college, and there was just a seismic gap between what it is you are learning and actually seeing people who aspire to
20,000 word essay on.
So having somebody who's local, go to a school and inspire people and say, well, look, I'm like the living and breathing version of what you could become.
Yeah.
You didn't have that then.
I'd love to do like a local Dragon's Den, you know.
Yeah.
Where you go in and you go, right, design something, and then you kind of pitch it to a board, and I could bring them products to market, you see.
Oh yeah, we do something similar with our other organisation, Food in Northeast. We do like.
I think there's something that kids because kids, I feel like you learn your Macbeths, your Shakespeares. You don't learn more about mortgages. You don't learn how to change a tire on a car. But I'm thinking like, there's a lot of like, I think it might be a generational thing, but it's like, right, I want to be an astronaut, right? But then you go, no, I'm going to be a doctor or a fireman. It's very stereotyped. Whereas like you can make money through art. But like, here's the one, right? So we did a sand piece on the Trow Rocks down at South Shields. Never known hard work like it, right? It was a tricky week for me. I lost my best friend tragically. And I was like, look, I don't want to do this. And then I was like, nope, he was going to run the Great North Run, so I'm going to do it. That was me in my head thinking, the shift's gone. Got in the van, 5 o'clock in the morning, parked up on the dunes, got a parking ticket. Bloody hell, parking ticket for trying to do something good for the community. Anyways, gets on the beach for 4:30 in the morning. Lining all this stuff out with sand, claret, salt to sand. So we're like, right, let's do this, right? We just need the picture. 6 hours of etching with a little rake into the sand. Phenomenal, man. Phenomenal. You know what was phenomenal? People going up onto the rocks, taking photos, coming down and going, James, this is amazing. Is it going on social media? And it's like, this is why we do this. You know what I mean? The people are noticing. Anyways, I did this like affirmation, a sense of like, keep going. How are the lads and lasses? Like, didn't give up. Big time bridge, red arrows flying off it. And in my head, I'm thinking, if this gets back to Brendan, it makes him smile, happy days. And it did. Yeah. It's class. Next thing, are you selling these prints in Fenwick? Can you sell? And it's like, that's what it becomes. And I just thought, you know what? I'm just doing it for the love. Like, it was class. We sent the drones up. It was funny because we sent the drones up. We think that letter's too close to there. So you're like tapping it all out and then retyping it. But the hardest part was fending off all the dogs. So the dogs are coming. You put 100 paw steps across your piece. You're like, bloody hell. So keep your dogs away and all this. But yeah, it was class. And like, I thought myself, oh, we need to do something for this year. But time wasn't on my side. But that was a real piece where there was like, there's no miniature. Mm-hmm. It's got massive reach. Yeah. I mean, Sarah Davies shared it and she was like, if nobody knows what the Northeast's about and the Great North Run, this is it. And we did this like cool like voiceover and like this drone video that showed like South Shields and Trow Rocks and then the piece coming to life basically. And like, we just knew that it would take off, but it was like, the people just love it, man. Yeah. And that goes back to why I keep doing what I'm doing. So I almost just want to create like a legacy and like when kids are coming through, I can be like, well, I've done all this with hard work, sweat, tears, everything. But like, I want you to you can do this. I always say to them, like, if you've got an idea, do it now when you've got nothing to kind of answer for or ask for. Like, just look for the path, essentially. Like, send them cool DMs, send like, if nobody gets back to you, it doesn't matter. Like, you just regret not doing it. I always think of like the Gareth Bale moment. Do you stay at Spurs or do you go to Real Madrid? And look what he did. Yeah. And I say that about my work. Yeah. I'm like, if I don't jig things around and take this opportunity, even if it's like unpaid work, if I don't take this opportunity, you just don't know what's going to happen. So, or who's going to see it. Yeah. And I'm like, so.
That's the thing, you don't know until you do it.
No, you don't. What's a nice strong message to end on before you get to this? Yeah. Before you go anyway.
I was going to say, I've had an idea about a separate brand. You know, your kid go around colouring in between the lines of get the kids that add colour in there.
There's something there with the kids market for me, and like
just with the crayon thing. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of anyway, I just sort of
I love it, man. I love seeing, because visual purpose is in everything. Yeah. Visual culture is in everything. Yeah. Like Sunderland will have its own culture and its own artists, and like that is phenomenal. Like, I'm not rooting myself to anything. We've just got a massive following within the Northeast as a whole, and it's like, but now I think it's time to open up the world. You know what I mean? I'm thinking like, we're doing a lot out in the world, but we want more. We want to tap into like the Japanese market, for example. Do you know what I mean? You don't know, like, can you work with Tamagotchi or something? Do you know what I mean? Like, can we do something with Pokemon? Like, I'm thinking like, what is the next step? Who are these brands?
Kind of full circle back to Japan and China and stuff like that. So when you did it back then,
it's mental, man. It's like,
but imagine your mural over there.
No, that's it. Huh? That's literally it. And it's like you could go onto like these rosters of people that have these doors open, but I've done it all for myself anyway. So we just continue them doors to our direction, and if it doesn't happen, something else will happen. Yeah. So it's like, I'm never not going to wake up and not feel grateful or not that I'm doing. Oh, when I walk the dog, I'm always thinking in my head, not doing enough. And then Amy will go, write down what you've done the day, and I'm like, bloody hell, I'm scrolling through my phone, and it's like. Or you'd be like, even if your list was done, you'd still have stuff to do. Of course. And that's me head.
Never ends. So. Yeah. Right.
Time. People always have like a face of trepidation when they hand them
anything off that list.
What, that I would eat?
Not the Greg's one yet, though.
No, just anything, apart from the Greg's one, we'll do that last. So anything that takes your fancy.
Topics of conversation. Yeah. And we'll guide you from whatever looks interesting.
We'll get this explanation wrong every time, James, so I'm going to keep confusing.
Like, so you're not wedded to starters, mains, is it? You can just pick
go desserts, you can go mains, you can go anywhere you want. What jumps out at you?
Probably picky, you know.
Picky?
What, like picky tea?
Aye.
Or picky eater?
Both. I mean, curry gravy obviously pops out as well, but I think like, do you know, like just like a buffet of food? That's probably like my...
Is it your go-to,
your
is it?
go-to?
Not
Right.
really. I mean, Indians probably curry-wise is my go-to.
Yeah.
I love sushi. That's my go-tos.
Yeah.
But I do like a pork pie and a pie and a...
When do you...
Egg
Well, that's a really
sandwich,
good
yeah.
question, right? Though. When do you gravitate towards a picky
I tell you what, I like that, the picky tea. It's sort of, that's like a workman's club buffet.
It is.
I call it a sea of beige. Do you know what I mean?
Sea
Because
of
a sea of
beige.
beige is that,
Depends
isn't it?
what your picky tea looks like.
Sausages,
Hey, if you're going to
pork
a
pies,
disco and there's some
corned
cold
beef
chicken nuggets, you're not going to not put them on your plate, are
pie.
you?
Of course not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that's for me. But then I love like pies, probably steak pies, probably me go-to with gravy and bit of chips and need to sleep after it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I need to go back. Genuinely, when do you have a picky tea?
Picky
I'm asking
tea.
you, and you. I'm asking you, right? When do you have a picky tea?
I don't really do it.
Like,
I
is
do
there
it
like
with
rules?
No, I do it with the kids. It's one of them, like, it's an easy one. when
Me
you
and
make it for
Amy
the
will
kids,
always have
or-
one around Christmas where it's like a what they called a chatterboard, you know, the board things where you got the cheese.
yeah.
What they called? They got a name.
Charcuterie.
Charcuterie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of them.
Well, I like a charcuterie. That's a starter before something else, you know, when you go to...
So you got all your cold meats,
Yes.
Yeah.
your cheeses, your chutneys. That's
Yeah.
me, man.
Yeah.
Love all
love
that.
that,
Patties.
See, I do that. Do that.
But I like garlic bread just to kind of add in.
Love it all.
Yeah.
But then
You just
you could
put
even
the
put
garlic
pizza
bread in
on
there.
that. So you could put pizza on there.
Just a little slice.
You can. What qualifies
Just
for a
like-
picky tea? Yeah.
Anything that's hot and cold, isn't it? That falls into that bracket.
Hot and
I've
cold.
usually on a
that's-
Saturday, right? I'll finish Jesmond Food Market. We'll run the market, and I'll go home with maybe 3 cheeses, a couple of Scotch eggs.
Scotch egg, man.
Got to have Scotch eggs on there, like you have to.
So good.
Charcuterie from the guys that do the market here,
That's fantastic. That stuff.
isn't it?
Yeah.
But I do that twice a month. You think I want to have gout or something?
It's an expensive one though, you know. You got to spend like 30 quid on
You
that
do,
kind of
aye.
stuff, you know. When you go
I
and
mean,
call it.
M&S are the go-to for stuff like that,
Oh,
aren't
they
they?
are, like, aren't they? You
The little
think it's
samosas and the rolls with the cheese in and that, man.
I've
It's like
taken
party,
that.
it's a party food, isn't it? It's the
Oh man, they
ultimate.
do. On
It's the same.
they've started
Was it
to
three-
do the
three-
Caesar.
3 for 400 quid or something like that.
That's the M&S style one, yeah.
James is available for the next M&S campaign, but
Nice. We'll work for
no.
food. Hot and cold as well. You mentioned that in there. What's your
Aye.
best combo of hot and cold? I always go with desserts because it's a crumble with a cold ice cream.
Aye.
Are
I
you
mean,
a
yeah.
custard guy or what?
Oh, I love it all.
Aye,
There's nothing I don't like.
really?
Aye.
Anything?
So say, yeah.
Anything you won't eat? We'll go down this one.
Butter.
Really? Butter?
really,
So I can have it in things like cakes and that,
Uh-huh.
but I can't have it as a like an oily form. So I couldn't have butter on toast, but I can have peanut butter.
really.
Cut a long story short, I had an operation on my stomach when I was a kid, and that thing just doesn't agree with this. It makes us ill for like 5 days.
Really?
But I can have it in things. But like, say if
It's
I
like
was saying
sort of-
going to
yeah,
bakers or something and have a ham and cheese sandwich or ploughman's or something, it's got butter on, wouldn't eat it
wow.
because I know it. I know the repercussions of it.
When's
Or I'll
that
just,
sound
if I'm going to Greg's and I'll go, right, can I have a sausage and bacon sandwich, please, no spread.
yeah.
Well, I disagree.
You come out
with...
the drive-through and there's spread on you and then
Yeah.
you're going back round.
Aye. Well, I don't agree with butter on a bacon sarnie anyway. Like, so yeah, I'm out on that one. Bacon, ketchup, that's it. You don't put butter on a bacon sarnie.
I know, like
Okay,
people
I
go
don't
to
get
me,
it,
oh,
like,
you like
right,
people at
Gracie,
first
what?
met.
What's the matter
You
with
don't like
it's
butter.
Gracie,
Well, what do
innit?
you do with a cheese scone? I was like, just jam on it. That's me.
Oh.
I've not known any different.
Fruit scone.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't know, would you?
Straight
I
jam.
mean, like, when do you have an operation? Quite
That was
young.
when I was literally a baby. Like, I'm talking days
so,
old.
like, you haven't got like, you don't miss anything by comparison. Like, you don't think about it.
No, I just like there were certain things, and I was like, bloody hell! Every time I'm eating butter, it's making us physically ill here,
Yeah,
like just stomach cramps and basically that. But then if I'm having a vanilla sliced cake thing, happy days.
That's mad, isn't it?
Aye,
Well,
man.
that works.
So,
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
but then in my head, I'm like, I probably can eat butter.
Aye.
It's just a psychological thing where my head's probably spinning plates, and I'm thinking this is trying not to agree with you, but yeah.
Right.
So that's me.
I can't help but say, like, so from previous guests that we've had on, we've got to call this bit the G-spot question now.
The J-spot
After this
question.
morning.
Oh, for Greg's house when you mentioned that this morning. That. Oh, Greg's a J-spot.
The G-spot
Yeah,
question.
the J-spot.
What's we go to Greg's?
Yeah. Take Greg's.
Hang
Go on, sorry,
We
I can't
need,
say.
wait, we need the question in because it's got to go in every week. What's your Greg's order?
Me Greg's order is sausage and bean melt.
Yeah.
So you had no haste there, so I know that's true.
But the thing is with me, like, it's one of them ones where, like, this goes back to the hot and cold. Greg's ethos is really clever because it's either you're going to get it piping hot and you've got no complaints in the sense of, right, you're going to have to wait till it cools down, or you'll get it cool and you still eat it.
Yeah.
So it's like, that is very good that they're not getting a single complaint unless someone goes to them. Have you got anything that's just come out the oven? Whereas I'm just straight in there and I don't care really.
I'm the same as you. I don't care if it's cold. Like,
it's like Amy made like a bolognese the other night, and there was some left over, and it was like a penny, and I just had it cold.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's me. I'm like, it's still the same.
I had a cold custard last night. It was rock solid.
Aye.
Um,
See, I like cold custard, banana. I like rice pudding. Rice pudding's me.
Rice pudding. Aye.
Jam roly-poly. I love all the classic stuff, man.
Aye.
So, but like proper pub food's probably me. But then I love, like I say, there's nothing I don't like. I love curry.
I bet he's a gammon and egg guy.
Gammon and eggs, huh? 100%.
What is it, Dan? It's first date food. It's a safe one.
1 egg, 1 pineapple.
What's safe about gammon and egg?
That's just safe food. Because you're not going to get it down. You know, your spaghetti, you say, dripping off your
chin. It's like pineapple on a pizza.
Yeah.
I am.
Oh, yeah.
Are you pineapple on pizza? I disagree with that, James, but yeah, my son has it. Yeah.
See, I look at it as like, right, I know why they've done that is because of the digestion.
Yeah.
So if you're having the pineapple, it's going to help you digest better.
Okay.
That's why I do it.
I just kind of.
I remember being in Switzerland one time, right? And I wanted a Hawaiian pizza, and he says, "Oh, we've got no pineapple." So they chucked kiwi and strawberry and everything on my pizza, and it literally came out with cheese and tomato, and I had blackberries on there, strawberries, kiwi, and something else, dragon fruit.
Really?
And then there you go, and everyone looked at us on the table, going, "What are you playing at?" And I was like, "Well, I didn't ask for that.
Yeah.
I just said, I'll just put another bit of fruit on there."
What
Did
was
you
it
eat
like?
it?
It was lush.
Was it?
Was it?
Really?
It was lush.
Did it open
That was in Basel.
Yeah.
So, I mean, never again. But I think I've got the photo somewhere, but it's like they just didn't get it. I don't think so.
Can you imagine? Kiwi might be alright, actually, to be fair.
But I think that's what it was, and then they just kind of put. I think they just put every fruit on there and made it like a fruit pizza, like a Haribo.
Fantastic.
But that's culture for you, isn't it?
Open it in a Del Monte. Just pour it on.
With glacé cherries in it.
Lovely stuff.
James,
Thank you very
so
much,
much,
James.
No worries.
Appreciate that.